My determination level is phenomenal compared to Tyson's.
And a right behind it and another right.
You have to remember that just nobody believes anybody can compete with Mike Tyson. In fact,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Tokyo Dome, February 1990. Into the ring walks Tyson, the undefeated champion of the world. 37 fights, 33 knockouts. The bookmakers had him at 42-1. That number alone said everything.
Mike Tyson was willing to die in that ring.
The opponent was considered a mere formality before the next big fight with Holyfield. But that night, blocking his path stood a man nobody knew anything about. James, Buster, Douglas. And what happened next would go down in history as a moment nobody could have predicted.
It was the greatest upset in boxing history, if not in sports history.
It was a joke. People couldn't remember if his name was Bubba or Buster. Nobody was paying attention to this guy.
By 1990, people spoke of this man with a smirk. Talented but unstable. He had the size, the speed, the skills, but lacked the character to use them. He gave away fights he could have won. Lost to Mike Whitey, lost to Jesse Ferguson. In 1987, he stepped into a title fight against Tony Tucker. And after 8 even rounds, he simply shut off, like a switch had flipped. Tucker walked away with the IBF belt.
God, he was boxing the guy's ears off. He looked tremendous, and then all of a sudden, he just said, that's it.
It was almost like he was inflicting that on his father.
His father watched this happen for years, and at some point, he just gave up, threw up his hands, stopped believing in his own son, and that release became the turning point. Free of his father's crushing expectations, Douglas finally started training for real, for himself, on his own terms. Lifting weights, changing his running program, doing everything asked of him without a single complaint. The man everyone had written off as wasted talent finally began to show what had always been inside him.
James Buster Douglas finally got himself in fantastic shape. He was finally the jewel that everyone thought was there.
But now, I got a total focus on what I want to do.
But right when he finally found himself, life decided to test him harder than it ever had before. Then, 3 weeks before facing Tyson, Douglas's life turned into a nightmare. His wife left him, the mother of his 11-year-old son, who had just been diagnosed with leukemia. And then, the cruelest blow of all. His mother, Lula Pearl Douglas, the one person who believed in him more than anyone on earth, suddenly died of a stroke. He had the perfect excuse to walk away from the fight. Nobody would have blamed him.
I asked him at that point in time, did he want me to cancel the fight? And he said no. His mom would have wanted him to go on and fight.
A week before her death, she visited him before he left for training camp. She was the only one saying out loud what nobody else on the planet believed, that her son would beat Mike Tyson.
I remember King saying, it ain't about if he knocks a guy out, it's about how he knocks a guy out. And the whole entertainment value was Tyson dismantling people in one fashion or another. And so Douglas was strictly meant as a showcase of Tyson's vicious skill, nothing more.
But while the world felt sorry for Douglas, nobody noticed Tyson's empire was cracking apart too. The divorce from Robin Givens had worn him down mentally, and within his camp, Don King's influence was growing, methodically dismantling the old team. Out went longtime manager Bill Caton, out went trainer Kevin Rooney, the man who'd turned a street kid into a monster. King's own people took their place. No authority, no ability to keep the champion in line. Training turned into a farce. Late nights, sluggish sparring, a total lack of discipline. Then came a warning sign nobody took seriously. In one sparring session, former world champion Greg Page knocked Tyson down.
I had sat down one night and I talked to Mike. I told him, you're not Superman. And the best that I know about this game, the things you've been doing and how you've been doing it, you're headed for a butt whooping.
Tyson was so convinced of his own invincibility that he stopped preparing like a champion. He'd started believing his own headlines. February 11th, 1990, Tokyo Dome. The bookmakers weren't taking serious bets. A 42-1 line said it all. Right before he walked to the ring, someone in the crowd shouted one line at Douglas: "Win it! For your mother!" He entered the ring with a broken heart and a will of steel. Tyson walked out the same way he always did, confident, relaxed, ready to end it all with one punch. Just another stop on the way to the airport.
Who likes to work behind a stiff left jab. Keep in mind that Carl Williams looked pretty loose and relaxed against Tyson until Tyson hit him with a body punch about 45 seconds into the bout. Mike has not yet.
Round 1 shocked everyone. Douglas immediately used his biggest edge, a full 12 inches of reach advantage. He moved easily, worked a long left jab, never letting Tyson into knockout range. Tyson, as always, charged forward, but for the first time in his career, he couldn't find his rhythm.
In the early rounds with the left jab.
In his upper body movement, in his legs. Keep that jab out there. He wants to top Mike up every time Mike gets inside. Hey! Both heads! And the problem a lot of fighters make is the fact that
we're almost 90 seconds in, and as yet, Tyson has done no real damage to Buster Douglas. Now Tyson begins to step in behind the left jab. He landed twice.
Got down with the left jab. So the left jab is a key weapon for Buster Douglas.
He fought us.
Lost the right hand of Buster Douglas, but the problem I'm still seeing is the fact he steady drops that right hand after he throws it.
Sculpted Adonis named Mike Williams on the undercard of Tyson Spinks and floored him too. Couple of right hands by Douglas. Tyson landing the jab again, and Mike misses with the right.
With total fighters, Mike has to really work extra hard to get inside. And see, this is to Buster Douglas' advantage.
Okay. Against Frank Bruno, Tyson basically forgot Bruno's ribcage for the first 4 rounds and paid a bit of a price for it. Tyson.
See, Mike has to be careful also because Mike's standing in front of him too. Doing a pretty good job here.
Another right hand lead by Douglas, and Tyson lands the left hook.
Round after round, Douglas methodically controlled the pace, something no one had ever done against Tyson for this long. 37 fights, and not once had an opponent lasted more than a few rounds against him, let alone dictated the terms of a fight from bell to bell. Ringside commentators started exchanging glances. Something was wrong with the script. Tyson was supposed to be destroying, not chasing a shadow.
Douglas giving as good as he gets inside right there. He outlanded Tyson by punch stat computations, 22 punches to 8. Round
very hard right hand by Douglas inside that Tyson walked right into. And right through, I might add.
Left hook by Tyson was partially...
Let's see if Douglas can sustain it, Jim.
Keep in mind that Tyson, a little more than 3 weeks ago, was knocked down in training by Greg Page. And there was some talk here that he was not as sharp as he has been for previous bouts. You never know until he's in the ring.
Hey, don't do that. Every time that Mike comes inside, apparently Douglas been doing a lot of watching films because he takes a move. He steps to his right, give a little angle.
Douglas giving as good as he gets it. Another right-hand lead lands for Douglas.
Douglas not afraid. That is apparent. And what's happening, Douglas started to get his punches off first, which is the key to boxing. You get your punches off first. They want to see more upper body movement and also more punches thrown as opposed to the one big punch. And that's what Mike Tyson's doing now.
With just that tactic.
What I'm seeing now is the fact that Douglas is getting Mike Tyson to reach in. When you reach in, that's what happens.
Another good right hand and a good right uppercut and 2 more good rights by Douglas. I don't think I've ever seen Tyson absorb that kind of a 4 or 5 punch combination.
He's got pretty quick hands for a big man.
Well, the lighter Douglas is, the faster his hands are, the more accurate his punches are.
Not a lot of power. As Larry referred to when he talked about Tyson walking right through the solid right.
I wouldn't necessarily say that because I think Tyson has a pretty good chin. Now, Mike is not going on, he's not attacking Buster Douglas, which indicates that there is some respect here.
And also a little puzzlement, Ray. He just doesn't seem to know how to go about it. That's another good round that I gave to Buster Douglas.
I don't think there's any doubt about that one.
Round 3 and round 4 continued the same story. Douglas never let up. Jab, movement, another jab. Tyson wasn't deciding anything. He kept walking forward, kept throwing hooks, but every single time he ended up at jab distance, not at the range where his devastating hook lived. Douglas never let him get anywhere near the distance, where Tyson ended careers in a single round.
Buster Douglas.
Good left to the body by Tyson. That's the kind of blow which has done a lot of damage to previous challengers.
No.
Now what Douglas can't do, he can't allow himself to get frustrated and try to exchange with Tyson. That could be fatal.
Working behind the jab, as is his custom. Those right-hand leads have been very effective.
They have been, but also you got to get those hands back up.
Douglas accurate with the jab. Douglas still outlanding Tyson, out-throwing him.
Again, Jim, the yellow from Tyson's corner is to work your way in, not to walk in there because those hands down of Buster Douglas.
Right hand by Tyson moving in. Left and a right by Douglas. Tyson seems a little more precise in this round as he tries to move in, but
back up. What's Douglas doing? He's not allowing Mike to get his punches off to the midsection.
Although there was a right hand near the middle of the chest. Douglas with another right hand to the top of Tyson's head.
Again, the yellow from Tyson's corner combination, not one punch. And that's why Douglas is able to get his combinations off, because he...
Good solid left jab by Douglas. Tyson grazed him with the right.
Hasn't been with Mike Tyson that he's needed some answers from the corner. Let's see if he's got the right answers. They're trying to make him just fight, not look to just wing big punches, expecting Douglas to fall the first time he lands something. Just wing big punches, expecting Douglas to fall.
There was an expression on Tyson's face, and I can relate to that because sometimes you get into the ring, Jim, you just don't hit, just don't click in. And maybe that's what he's feeling now. He's just not on.
Well, we're in round 4, and a lot of ringside observers didn't expect the fight to go this far. It should be pointed out that stamina has been, and antihistamines. You have to wonder how far he can go at this level of effectiveness.
To fall the first time he lands something.
And the man who does most of the talking in Tyson's corner and who leans forward to whisper in his ear is Aaron Snowell.
If you watch what Douglas is doing now, he's trying to double that.
By the end of round 4, it was completely clear. This was no tune-up for the Holyfield super fight. This was a real war, and Tyson was losing it. For the first time in his career, the man trained to destroy opponents psychologically before the opening bell was facing a fighter who wasn't scared. Not of his reputation, not of his power, not of his name. Douglas kept doing the same thing, methodically, round after round, and with every passing minute, it was working better.
There's very little head movement here today. He was extremely close to his mother. Right hand by Douglas, right on Tyson's chin. Head movement here today.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's a natural fighter.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Good left hook by
Douglas
Douglas.
again with a left and a right, and now Tyson lands a right hand and backs Buster up, but here he comes.
When Mike throws punches, Mike is dropping his hands, which is very dangerous.
Well, if Mike Tyson looks, and shockingly, I agree with them.
Trainer J.D. McCauley and manager John Johnson very calm in the Douglas corner. Now Tyson lands a jab. Punch stat computations, he has landed almost half of them. Extremely effective working behind the left jab. Buster Douglas.
Some of a stationary target directly in front of Buster Douglas. That's why the right hand's been hit later.
This is the round in which Tyson turned things around against Frank Bruno. Right hand by Douglas lands again.
There's that right hand again. It's going to happen every time.
Another right hand, and now Tyson seems to be wobbled. Mike is not throwing back. Buster Douglas is completely dominating this round with jabs and right crosses.
But what's going to do some damage now? Buster Douglas throw an uppercut.
There's just no head movement there, Ray. Mike is a stationary target for this guy.
Well, that's the reason his corner is so petrified, because they see that Mike has become...
By round 5, the champion's left eye began to swell shut. His own corner was so unprepared that instead of a proper cold compress, they pressed an ordinary latex glove stuffed with ice against his face.
Not doing anything. Just reaching every time that Tyson appears ready to throw, he either ties him up like he just does, or he just backs off a little bit and ruins his timing. Thus far, he's fought the perfect fight because he's not being a stationary target, although he's not really...
There's a lot of swelling above Mike Tyson's left eye, and it is partially closed. And that is from the right-hand leads that Buster Douglas has landed almost at will.
Tyson raged, but his signature attacks kept running into that jab again and again. Douglas moved, struck, slipped away. By the end of the fight, the punch stats would be staggering, 230 to 101 in the challenger's favor.
Create a new standard of upsets if this went on.
Clay and Braddock, not as big as this.
Stamina has never been a problem for Mike Tyson opponents. He is so relaxed in there.
By punch stat computations, in the 5th round, Buster Douglas outlanded Mike Tyson 3-1, 33 punches to 11.
Well, as long as Douglas stay there, he's going to play right into Mike Tyson's hands. But the thing about it is, I'm very surprised they are landing like they are.
Tyson landed an uppercut inside.
Is that he's never given Tyson a chance to use those amazingly fast combinations. Even when he gets hit, it's one punch and he smothers or he fires back.
The combination which destroyed Bruno and which has been so effective against a lot of opponents is the right hand to the body, followed immediately by the uppercut.
And that punch lands and that becomes a factor, especially for the very first time. Experience plays a major role in that kind of handicap.
And another right hand uppercut by Tyson. Douglas doesn't appear hurt.
Well, as long as Douglas stay there.
And Douglas has not been there. Tyson finally blocked the right hand lead.
Sorry. Kept his hands down. Now you see he's so worried that he's going back to what was called the peekaboo style of defense. He's got his gloves back up again.
All right.
Little more peekaboo defense from Tyson now, as he is clearly aware of the closing left eye.
There's no virtue to get hit. Keep your gloves up.
Round 6 and round 7 turned into a methodical execution. Douglas kept doing the same thing. Precise rights, constant pressure with the jab, complete control of the distance. HBO commentator Jim Lampley later admitted, the fight became so one-sided that calling it from ringside felt almost like commentating a golf tournament. Flat, matter-of-fact, without a single break in the script.
Past the midway point of the scheduled 12 rounds.
He's so much quicker. He's so much agile. The crowd would be in an uproar right now.
Here they are eerily silent. Douglas continues to outland Tyson at close quarters and then to tie him up.
Buster needs to move a little bit more. He's standing. Now he's starting to become stationary.
Low blow by Tyson. Miran was behind Douglas and didn't see it. Another right hand lead for Douglas, partially connected. Douglas with another right hand, looping leaping over the top.
Tyson used his physical attributes, the height and reach advantage.
Tyson's corner liked what it saw with the left uppercut. It was almost 25 years ago when a 7-1 betting underdog named Cassius Clay, another low blow. This time Mayron saw it. Tyson still leaping and lunging behind the left hook, partially connected. Left jabs right on Tyson's face.
This is the first time I've seen a big man in the ring with Tyson use his physical attributes.
Tyson kept crouching, kept bobbing forward, loading up for his signature knockout punch. But even in the clinches, Douglas physically outmuscled him, standing 6 inches taller. Not a single round gave the champion a chance to seize back the initiative.
Related to what happened here, except that Tyson is anything but the dynamo.
We saw between rounds demonstrated the huge disparity in jab effectiveness. Buster Douglas thoroughly dominant in that department so far. Another solid straight left jab right to the middle of Mike Tyson's face.
I'm watching the legs of Buster Douglas. There's a lot of spring to his
punch count statistics, Tyson is averaging only 23 punches around. He's going to have to step up the activity if he's going to turn things around here.
This dynamic terror that we're used to seeing. Buster Douglas has neutralized him, frustrated him, beaten him to the punch. Got to come back and win it. Look at the punches.
These right-hand leads are not diminishing in effectiveness, guys. He is still landing just about all of them.
Double jabs, lead off right hands.
Everybody from Don King on down in Tyson's camp said it was no play acting. It was for this performance. I think you'd have to say yes. It was definitely for real. Buster Douglas, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Well, it's not over yet, Jim, but I tell you, he's put a good account of himself up. His legs, which means there's a lot of life to his legs.
Round 8 brought a moment that nearly rewrote the entire story. With 6 seconds left in the round, Tyson caught Douglas with a thunderous right uppercut, and he crashed to the canvas. For the first time all fight, momentum belonged to the champion. The referee began the count. The whole arena froze, bracing for the familiar ending. Douglas, the man who always broke at the decisive moment.
Hitting on the break, Moran didn't say a word to him about it.
There's a little swelling under the left eye now of Mike Tyson. Still beating Tyson to the punch, Greg. Here he's against the ropes. I've never seen.
And there's a right hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas. As suddenly as that.
Can he beat the count?
He got a little overconfident. Got a little loosey-goosey. Still wobbly. Let's see what Mike can do to finish. And the bell ends to save Buster Douglas at the end of round 8.
He rose at the count of 9. Furious with himself for that one moment of weakness, he pounded his fist on the canvas. The bell rang and saved him.
Through with it.
Mike can do to finish. And the bell ends to save Buster Douglas at the end of round 8. Just to recover, clearly he was out on his feet as the bell sounded.
And Tyson is trying to find out immediately if his head...
Round 9, Douglas didn't just survive, he seized it. He weathered a desperate, frenzied assault from Tyson, then drove the champion into the ropes himself with a vicious combination, forcing the great Tyson to hold on, just to stay on his feet, for the first time in his career.
On the break, and there goes Tyson inside and up and under again.
Now, if I was Douglas, I would move now. Just move around. Just try to clear that head, clear those cobwebs. His head is clear. This is when Douglas should really do a great deal of clinching, tying his head, and trying to clear his head.
Hey, don't do that. Solid right cross. Douglas wobbled again. Neither man playing much defense at this moment. They are just trading shots, and now both men look a little weary, by and large with stony silence.
Probably disbelief, Jim. They came to see Godzilla, And the wrong guy appeared to be Godzilla until that knockdown.
The left eye of Mike Tyson's nearly closed now.
Shades of Ray Leonard against Tommy Hearns. Douglas coming back with a left and right. Tyson is wobbling. Tyson needs the ropes for support. Douglas wailing away. Without the ropes, Mike would have gone down. Plenty of time left in the round. Mike Tyson was on the verge of going down. And again, the champion wobbles back to the ropes. This is high drama, and the crowd here is solid right hand by Douglas. The most action-filled, heavy punching exchange round of Mike Tyson's career.
And then came round 10. And almost immediately, it was over. Douglas measured Tyson with 6 unanswered jabs, then detonated a massive right uppercut that buckled the champion's legs. A crushing left hook followed, sending Tyson's mouthpiece flying into the lights and his body crashing down onto the canvas of the Tokyo Dome.
A difficult kidney ailment, who had every reason to come into this bout depressed and downtrodden, chosen by no one to have a chance of getting out of the first few rounds, and he has thoroughly dominated Mike Tyson with the exception of the moment when he went down.
And apparently he is.
He's been a whole different person than the one every boxing expert expected to see here. Try to get in the shot that will finish things in.
Oh, the uppercut.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.
Tyson, down on all fours, blindly patted the floor, searching for his mouthpiece. Found it, tried to shove it in backwards, and still tried to get up. Referee Octavio Marin counted all the way. To 10, the greatest upset in the history of boxing had just happened.
This makes Cinderella look like a sad story, what Buster Douglas has done here tonight.
Let's go ahead and call it the biggest upset in the history of heavyweight championship fights. Say it now, gentlemen. James Buster Douglas, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Why did you win this fight that nobody on the planet gave you?
His mother.
In what
Mother.
way?
God bless her heart.
Nobody could believe what they'd just witnessed. HBO Sports later admitted, across hundreds of boxing broadcasts, no single moment had ever caught them so completely off guard.
Mike Tyson will be okay. He'll be all right. Regardless of what people would like to see happen to me, like people say, oh, you just wanted like the rest of the fighters. But nada, I doubt that seriously. And that's why I guess people are upset, because they really wish that would happen.
Don King tried to challenge the result, pointing to the long count in round 8. The appeal was rejected. The victory stayed with Douglas. Douglas's reign didn't last long. 8 months later, he lost the title to Evander Holyfield. But one night in Tokyo remains forever the greatest upset in the history of sport. The night an unknown fighter who'd lost everything he held dear beat the most feared man on the planet for a woman who believed in him, even when nobody else on earth did.